themartialman.com.
It begins in the feet, generated by the legs, controlled by the waist and expressed through the fingers. This cryptic phrase, taken from the Tai Chi classics, describes the Jin as it travels from the foot to the hand. Now, Jin is not only an internal force moving through the body, it is also a unique quality developed from the practice of Tai Chi Chuan. To fully understand the true meaning of Taiji Jin and how it's trained in Yang style Tai Chi, today I'm meeting with Sifu Liang De Hua to find out more.
In Chinese martial art, actually we use the word Jin like in many arts, not only Tai Chi. But Tai Chi use a lot, and we use the word Jin all the time because Tai Chi is the art that study and train about the force and increase the force. So the force that you increase the quality of the force, and that force we call Jin. And one thing is, Jin is not a special power or any magic power. It's quite simple, and it is your ability, the force, the power of from your training. Taiji Jin is based on Yin Yang, So to train Taiji Jin, to train this Yin Yang, you have to start from passive or Yin way, not the Yang way. But in Yin Yang principle or even Tai Chi principle, extremely Yin can create Yang. So you train in that way, it can create Yang or the real power later. But if you start by Yang, it create the external strength or Li. So we start by passive, by relaxing, by song, okay, or train this all in a passive way, until we can create the real power within that quality, that song. So it's like you make something, you make your body empty and then start to have something inside happen. So for example, if you touch my body, okay, like you push me here,
sure,
okay, if you push hard, right, maybe I have to use normal force like this. But no, the Tai Chi quality is there. It's quite empty.
Yes, the condition changed the moment that you spoke about Tai Chi quality. It changed.
Yeah, and you can see this quality. I start by passive, but you can feel that passive create active. That's why you off balance. But you cannot feel that I resist.
No, there is nothing resisting me.
With force, okay? So, for example, the basic training that I always show people, for example, we touch each other like this. In the same condition, we stand in the same position, right? So if both of us use force, I push you, you push me. This is just use force. And you are stronger than me, you can push me. And you can feel in your hand. We cannot see in the camera, but you can feel.
Yes, I feel that the force is building up at the contact point.
Yes. But if I change the quality, in this case, I just use Jie Jin or receiving Jin or connect Jin. So Jie Jin means connecting, but it means receiving as well, because I connect by receive. So even you use force, I just let it down.
Yes.
And then that passive force create active force. I do nothing. I did nothing on you, but that force return back to you. Okay, so this is the basic example that you can see. But actually you can see I didn't use my arm. That means I just connect my arm with my body. That means it came from my body. So that's why when you start to like push me hard, right? It's not because of this. It's because I open, relax.
Yes.
Okay, it's empty. So Nei Jin, actually when I use this type of Nei Jin, most people say it is Peng Jin. Yes, it is Peng Jin. But to have this Peng Jin, you need different type of Jin. Okay, to train this, first you need to have Ting Jin, or the Jin at your top, at the top. That means the empty force. It means like this force is not real. Okay, it's like imagination or just feeling. It's not the real force. That's why we call Sui. Okay, that's why in Chinese said the world is Sui. That means the world is like illusion, like not real.
Yes.
So this Sui Ting Jin means the force at the top. So with Sui it means the force is not real, but you need to have it. Why? Because you have to maintain your structure. Because in Tai Chi, when we train, we have to be passive, completely passive. But that passive, if you just song, you will collapse. You will collapse down. So we need to have Ting Jin first. That's why the classic said, the song of Peng said, to apply Peng, you have to do two things: hang up your head and sing Shi Tu Tan Tian.
So going back to what you showed earlier when you did the demonstration, and you said that you connected your hands to your body.
Yep.
And I felt that the contact point disappeared. It felt empty, but there was a force coming back. This is not the same as what people might think. When they think about connecting the hands to the body, they think about bracing and actually using force to connect their body. This is not the same thing.
Not the same thing. Because again, we train Tai Chi, we start by passive force. So what I need to do, just maintain my body, my whole body with my Zhongting. Hang up a line of my body, make my Zhongting be clear. And then Peng Jin will happen. So I don't collapse when you push me, but I didn't use force, you can feel.
Yes.
That's quite different. Because if I maintain myself by my force,
yes,
that you push me, or I try to maintain by my force, you can feel. And you can feel how to push me. But when I just maintain myself by relaxing and let everything open, because now I can align my body. That means I can release the rest out. When I release the rest, I can have emptiness inside my body. And then with that emptiness, I start to have Peng. So Peng is the area or the power that happens from the emptiness inside. It's like a balloon. The surface contains the Peng or elastic force there, yes, like roundness force, right? But inside is empty. Okay? So that is Tai Chi Nei Gong. You create emptiness inside, create Peng inside. So when you touch the surface. Okay? But all your force is gone. And you cannot find my center. When I use my force, if you try to listen, you can feel my body. Yep. You can find my center. Yes. But when I made it disappear, you can't. I can remember some years ago, before I understand this, when we start to train to apply Jin from the body or ask people to push, I feel like everything compressed. I feel like very uncomfortable and hard to resist. I have to use a lot of leg to resist. But after some Nei Gong training, yeah, I get this skill and start to understand. I feel more empty. And when people press on me, I feel comfortable. And I feel like still movable. Movable. Move what? I don't know really. But I still feel movable. Maybe something inside that emptiness, maybe Jin, okay, inside emptiness. I can move that. So that means when you try to like really push hard, sure, okay, somewhere, yep. If I use force, I feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. When I relax, I feel nothing.
And now it feels like I cannot apply my force.
Yeah.
The force is on the surface.
On the surface, because inside empty. How you can apply to inside? Because okay, and then I can move you. So that means you can apply everywhere in my body. See, I can apply. Yes. And also with sticking, I go that way and then lead you to this way.
That's right, and it felt like I couldn't take my hand away at that point.
Yes, because it's create movement. So you touch here, right? It's create movement inside.
Yeah, I can't let go.
Yep. And your hand stuck there. That's why some Tai Chi master explain you could na people at every point of your body. Okay, so you can apply everywhere. Or you push me from behind, right? Yep, it can be full. See? Up. Yep. So it can be full. If you push me, right? Yes. Everywhere. Okay, because it's full. Okay.
Again, the force is not going into your body; it's on the outside.
Yes. Or you try to. Okay, this called Song Chen Jin, or Song and Sink. This is the basic Jin of Yang Tai Chi. That's why most of Yang Cheng Fu students mention that Yang Cheng Fu good at Song Chen Jin to far people with Song Chen Jin. So for example, you push, right? It's not because I try to press you, it's about sinking.
Yes.
Okay, that means I can apply that to you. So when I apply in my hand, it creates the sinking to you.
And I feel sinking inside my own body.
At
the moment that you said you're sinking, I can feel sinking inside myself.
Yes.
Is that because of the connection?
The connection as well. But Song Chen Jin can create connection by itself. Yeah, almost by itself, because Jin has its quality. Yeah, that can create connection because it's passive. So for example, if you relax, okay, in this case it's harder because you relax. When you relax, see, I try to move like this, no problem, because even I press hard, see, it's down, right? But when I apply Song Chen Jin, you could not bend.
It felt like my whole body was connected from my hand to my feet,
like
it was one piece.
That is a Song Chen collapse your structure. If you read about Yang Cheng Fu got a nickname about when he show his hand, people will fly back for 1.8 Zhang. So that means about 6 meters. Yeah. So like, and also if you check from many sources, most of his students mention the same about his skill. And all of them, I mean all his students has this skill. And they mentioned, they wrote the book, they taught to their students in this way. So even you believe or not, or I believe, or I show it or not, it doesn't change anything. It's the same. It was there. It has been there. So you will find this is the Tai Chi system about Jin. That's why if you check some books, maybe they mention like 30 or 40 kind of Jin with different aspect or application. Yeah. So this why we have so many Jin, because this is like our studying. We study Jin to train. But at last what we have is okay, our power, our real power that we can use in our application, in the situation that we have to use, it. So it's there, and we have to study it. That's why Grandmaster Li Yashuan said, if you train Tai Chi for a long time or for whole life, but you cannot fire the Yang family Taiji Jin, you have to be ashamed. You have to be ashamed.
In Tai Chi we have neutralizing or Hua Jin.
Yeah.
How does Hua Jin relate to what you were showing earlier when I was pushing on your body and I was pushing your arms? Was you still neutralizing at that point?
Actually, every movement in Tai Chi, every Jin in Tai Chi contains some Hua Jin or changing or transform. Yes. Or most people translate to neutralize. Okay, we use this all the time because Taiji Jin has to be flexible. Okay, that means it's move. When it move, it hua or chain. Okay, and yes, you can use this as technique, but actually, in the term of force, it's neutralize or transform the opponent force all the time. That means you don't meet your opponent force directly. But actually, when you don't meet the opponent force directly, we call Zhou first. Zhou, or I think it translates to yielding. But I think people also misunderstand between yielding and transform, or Zhou and Hua.
Yeah, because most people think that Hua Jin is yielding on the body.
Yeah, Hua Jin is not yielding. Yeah, Hua Jin is transform. Because, okay, come back to Zhou Jin first. Zhou Jin means putting. Putting means do not resist. Okay, that means you not resist to your opponent force. That is Zhou. Okay, then you don't resist. No stagnant, no like
no double weighted.
Yeah, no double weighted. That means you can move. You can move. That's good. That means you can hua, or you can transform his force.
Yes.
Okay, that is the key. So, because the force is vector, you know that, right?
Yes.
It's vector. Vector has two quality: magnitude, right? Magnitude and direction. Two quality. Right. You change these two quality. You change its direction, or change the magnitude, or the amount of force. Okay, reduce. Like you touch me, every single touch, right? Even you use your force, I don't use force to fight you. I just hua, the force gone.
Yes.
Okay. Or even you kick me, round kick, real kick.
Yep. Sure.
Here.
Like a Thai kick or something.
Yes, something like that. You can use this to hua. Okay. You not resist directly because I will hurt. But when I do correctly, kick no problem. You feel like it disappear.
Yeah.
Okay? You feel like it disappear. Again. Whoop. Right? Just like disappear. One more time. Harder. Okay? Just like disappear.
So even when you have a fast action like that, like a Muay Thai kick, there's still the option there, the ability to neutralize and
yes,
change the force.
Yes. I mean, Hua can apply. We have the Hua quality of the Jin and the Hua action, the technique to use Hua. That means people has hand come, I use Hua. That means I don't fight, I just go. Okay, I Hua. So I go like change the direction and change its magnitude. Okay, and for example, with this kick, right? I know some people will say, no, it will not work with the real Muay Thai kick. We live in Thailand now. And actually, in Muay Thai Boran, they have the same technique, but it's quite high level technique.
Okay.
Yeah, they have the high level technique like this. Use two hands to reduce the force. So actually, it should work. Okay. That means we use everywhere. So if you touch my body, the key is when you touch, I don't fight. I make it empty, but not enough. When I change the force direction, the force gone. Yes. Now you cannot maintain the same direction. That's even right. You want to go in the same, can't. And then I move. Okay? You can push harder, faster, wherever you want.
You see, this one is a very interesting direction because you have no leg behind you and you have no root.
Yep.
So there's no way that you can brace and be double weighted.
Right, because you push me this way.
In this direction,
yeah.
Yes.
If I use force, cannot, because this in Chinese we call kongmen, or empty door.
Yes.
You push there, no way. Okay? But when I relax, your force cannot come in. And then when I change, you have to go.
Yes.
And you use a lot of force because you handshake.
I try to use all my power, yes.
Yes, that is. Hua. Hua means like you move and reduce the force. of your opponent or change its direction.
TheMartialMan.com